Welcome back to the Bearded Garage. Today I got a 2023 Toyota Highlander. I got a rumble in the front brakes, right around 40 to 50 miles an hour. It feels like, I'm guessing, some warped rotors. The pads look okay, brakes look okay, but the customer definitely doesn't want the rumble. So we're gonna pull apart, see what we look like, see what we got, and probably replace pads and rotors. Follow along. Thanks. All right, most importantly on the brake job, a mid brake job brake. My son works at Taco Bell, hells yeah. So I get a delivery at Taco Bell for free. All right, that's it. We'll follow up on the brakes in a sec. All right, we got 21 mil lug nuts, 14 mil caliper bolts. Let's see what we got here. We got plenty of life. I don't know if this is that's not a crack. I don't see anything that would make them wobble other than probably a warped rotor. So I can give that a test. All right, caliper bracket comes off the back here. These two bolts came out of the back, 19 mil. All right, I had to break those free with a breaker bar first because they're a little bit bigger. Next we're gonna get this rotor off. There's actually two real ways to do it. Most of the time you just whack, this being a 2023 with less than 30,000 miles, I was figuring of just giving it some the old slacks here on the hub, but I don't, it's not moving at all. So there is a trick. They leave threaded holes here. All right, and you can actually just push these in. It'll pop it off the hub itself. So the phrase I've heard in the past is you can hit it with a big hammer, which is, I wish I could remember where I heard it, but it was the Tanya Harding method. And that was a video I watched a while back. I remember a guy saying it. It might have been hitting rotors at the time. I just put a couple in here. It's like a press, right? Basically just push these in and it'll pop the rotor from the hub. Rather than smashing them with a big hammer for a long time, I actually hit them a few times. You can see all the stuff on the ground. So I'll give this a shot, see what she says. All right, funny, these are on here relatively tight. Funny, these I figure are M8 by 1 1/4. But as you can see, as it pops off, it was just rusted behind. So we'll brush all that off, clean it all up to make sure it works nice. So the next person will have an easier job. All right, I take a look at that caliper now that it's sitting here on the table. We're just gonna pull. We're gonna pull these pads off. You can see they still have quite a bit of life left on them. We're gonna pull them off. We'll clean up the caliper, and you see these are actually caliper pins. They're actually pretty tight. I'm gonna actually twist those back and forth, and then pull them out, and then I'll lube them up with some brake grease to make sure they slide fine and still the brakes wear evenly. I might put some of the new brackets in. You can see there's also these tensions here that we get new ones of those coming in. Normally I put the brackets in. It all depends on whether or not they're exactly the same as the factory. If they're not the same, then I tend to leave the factories because and a lot of these Toyotas, they're non-replaceable parts. So that's about it. As we're going to put the rotors back on, these rotors came off relatively tight, so it's just a steel brush. I'm going to brush these up and then put a little bit of anti-seize right here, just around the lip, right in between here. So that's pretty much where it gets all hung up. A little bit of Permatex anti-seize. Right. Oh, this is harder with one hand, but here's all we're doing. So you don't want to get it on the rotor, and a little goes a long way. So you don't need to slather it all up, just a little bit on the lips there. That is twice as much as I like to use, but it's already on there. So and I'll throw the rotor on. Should be good to go. One special thing you'll see on these, they actually have clips. So I'm going to replace the clips. So these don't come here, which is a quick clip here. Just kind of snaps in place like this. Right, I'll show you once I get those in. And then rotate this one and put it on just like that as well. And should be good to go. I'll show you once I have them on. All right, so these caliper pins almost don't even turn at all, so I had to kind of fight with them. Just pull them, twist them out of that rubber. There you go. Pull it out. They are actually different, top and bottom, so just pay attention to which way you pull them out. I do one at a time. I'm going to wipe them off, lube them up with some more brake caliper grease, and throw them back in there. Make sure I seal, push it all the way in so the rubber seals over that lip, and it should slide fine. All right, after I have lubed and put the pins back in, the caliper pins, I actually do it before I put it back on the car, but I lube up the, so I've brushed and cleaned all of these, what do you call them, the pad clips or whatever the hell they are. But I lube those up. Anywhere you have metal touching metal, that's where you're probably going to get some brake squeak. So lube that up, ready to throw this back on the car. So throw it on there. Yeah, silly me. In order to put the rotor, I'm sorry, the caliper bracket back on, first you got to put the rotors back on. Duh. Okay, so real easy. I just put this on just to hold it in place. It's a little easier, saves me a little bit of time of screwing around when I'm putting the bracket back on. These are actually rotors I've been moving to. They're the silent stop. They come out of Fisher Auto. Frankly, you don't have to wash them. They're specially coated. They're a lot quieter. They're fantastic, actually. So if you're getting stuff and you're wondering if you should get the low, medium, or high brand from AutoZone, just forget it. Go to Fisher Auto and buy these. They actually last quite a while, and they're good with noise, and they're good with dust, and everything about them I like. So, yeah. All right, I've got the pads pressed in. You can see the clips on the bottom. Next, we're gonna have to actually take the caliper itself and push both of these pistons in. Easiest thing is take an old caliper, an old brake pad, and just put it across and push it from the center. They don't need to rotate when they go in. They're just a push. But if you push one in, if you push one in, one go in, the other pops out. So just put something across. It's easier. And then we'll put the caliper back on. We will actually, you can talk on metal, you don't want it squeaking. We're putting some brake pad grease here, some brake grease here, and same on the back of here so we don't get anything. And then we'll put the two clips that go on there. So I'll show you in a minute. All right, I lied. When you push one in, obviously the other comes out. So I pushed one in, and then I pushed the second in with another and held it in place. So these two pistons kind of go back and forth, right? Because that's where the pressure goes. But I tried to do it with a pad, but it kept flopping back and forth, and it was a pain in the ass. So that's how I did it. All right, so I greased up the pads, probably too much on the pads. I did put it on a little bit thin, but you want to make sure the pads are going to be resting here, here, and here, and resting there and there. So you don't want it to, you want to make sure that anywhere metal touches metal, that's how you get your squeaks. So I put it all in the pads themselves, did out the same for the backside. And there's everything back together. I'm going to take this lug nut off, put the wheel back on, and then tighten and torque them down, and it should be good to go. All right, the last step on this Highlander is we get it up to about 40 miles an hour, maybe 45. Brake relatively hard till we get to a stop, and I call that seating the brakes. I've always heard it's a good thing to do. It kind of heats up the pads, heats up the rotors all at the same time, make sure they're all nice and good to go. And then the last thing I do is I'm gonna take it out for a spin. I actually did feel the rumbling at about, braking at about 50 miles an hour, 60 miles an hour. So I took it out and wanted to check that. So she worked good. So this is my process of seating the brakes. I'm up to 40, 45 miles an hour. I'm gonna make a nice hard brake. Not enough to skid, but enough to really feel the brakes. So I did that 3 different times. Now I'm happy. We're good to go. It's a good car. Pretty easy job on the 2023 Toyota Highlander. Here is what I got. I mentioned Fisher Auto in for $180 plus labor. As I mentioned, Fisher has those silent stop. Brakes are fantastic there. So there you go. It's a slightly different ending in the bearded garage. We just finished the 2023 Toyota Highlander. This lady lives the next street over, so I just drop it off and walk back. Thanks for tuning in. Smash that subscribe button, hit like, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.